Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursaleen wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een wa ba'd. Welcome to the episode of Journey Through the Qur'an. Inshallah, today we'll be going over Juz 15, which is Surah Bani Israeel, verse 1 to 111, and Surah Kahf, verse 1 to 74. And one of the first topics we are going over today is the etiquettes with family. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and your Lord has decreed that only worship Him alone. And kindness to parents. If any one of them or both of them certainly reach a senior age by you, then do not say oof to them, nor repulse them, and say respectful statement to them. Say a respectful statement to them. And lower the side of humility in front of them out of compassion and say, O my Lord, have mercy upon them, just as they nurtured me in childhood. So Islam really gives preference to your parents. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first mentions about shirk, about who to worship. That first you worship Allah alone. You don't associate any partners with Allah. There's no deity except Allah. And then Allah ta'ala is mentioning kindness to parents. It shows how high it is. So we need to show kindness to our parents, and many of the times we fail for this. We really think that our parents don't understand what's going on. And there is some truth in that, but our conduct and the way we do it, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us for that. Forget oof. What other things do we say to our parents? And it's really something shameful when you think back. When they reach a senior age, don't throw them into a care home. You should care for them. And everyone should understand this, the status of our parents. The status of parents is very high in Islam. That after shirk, after associating partners with Allah, after correcting that and worshipping only Allah, Allah is mentioning kindness to parents. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions when they lower the side of humility in front of them out of compassion and say, Oh my Lord, have mercy upon them, just as they nurtured me in childhood. So the mercy a parent had for their children. Ya Allah, you alone know the amount of troubles our parents went through when we were kids. For 9 months our mother held us in her stomach. And yet we come out thinking we are the rulers of the world. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really grant us understanding of how to care for our parents. But at the same time, parents also need to understand that don't abuse your children. A lot of parents want their child to say, I'm having this issue with my child, that issue with my child. But they themselves, their conduct in front of their child is not good. You cannot force someone to submit to you. When you are doing all vile stuff in front of your child, but you want your child to do something else, no, that's wrong. Understand your child. Make your child love you by you loving them. Show them compassion. And believe me, it's totally different now. A lot of times parents would come and say to me that, but when we were younger, we used to do this, we used to do that. Understand, times are moving on. And we really need to adapt ourselves. We really need to adapt ourselves to the times and really understand our children, cater for them, and really understand them. Don't abuse your children in that manner. In the same way, children, respect your parents. Have utmost respect for them. Love them to another extent. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us that love for our parents. And remember, in Islam, everything is in moderation. Everything we do as Muslims should be in moderation. And what do I mean by this? As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do not walk struttingly on the earth. You will certainly never be able to tear up the earth, and you will never be able to reach the mountains in height. All of this, its evil, is disliked by your Lord. So now, Allah Ta'ala is telling us not to walk arrogantly, with haughtiness upon the earth. Don't walk with pride and arrogance like you are the conqueror of everything. No, everything is in moderation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you power. Alhamdulillah. Yes, you can say, yes, I have this position, I'm a senior manager, I'm the chief executive. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you that. But don't stick your chest out thinking, yeah, I'm this, I'm that. You're only a senior, you're only a chief executive. Remember that. All of this is from the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can express it, say, look, this is who I am, with no arrogance. But it's when you start showing arrogance, start sticking your chest up and start walking upon the earth like that, that's when there's an issue, which really needs to be countered. And we need really to understand, arrogance is not the way. Arrogance is not the way. A person who has an amount of arrogance will not enter Jannah. And this ummah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes, وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا, and in this manner we made you a moderate nation, in between complete extremism and complete liberalism, you could say. So bang on in the middle, everything in moderation. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us true understanding of what it means to be moderate. Many times people will try to interpret and bend things to their desires. This is wrong. This is totally wrong. Remember, Islam is a moderate nation. Islam is a moderate religion. And whenever making an intention, Islam teaches us how to make an intention. It's like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and do not ever say of anything, I will certainly do this tomorrow, except that Allah wills. Insha'Allah. And remember your Lord when you forget, and say, it is possible that my Lord may guide me to a guidance closer than this. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us a lesson, but when we make an intention to do something, always remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, always say insha'Allah, that Allah wills. And if you ever forget something, remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So always in your intentions, make them in such a way that you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you keep Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name there. So you say, Insha'Allah, I want to do this. Insha'Allah, I want to do this. This will automatically grant you peace, tranquility, like we called before, remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you're remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you place your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala whenever you do anything. And remember, don't be quarrelsome. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Qur'an, and we have most certainly, varyingly presented every type of parable in this Qur'an for mankind. And more than anything, the human being is disputative. Humans have this inside of them where they always like to dispute. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so merciful to us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes us aware of the right and the wrong. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is willing to forgive our wrongdoings if we turn to Him. But how ungrateful are we to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we keep on complaining, quarreling. We argue over every single thing. We argue over Allah's commands and the Prophet ﷺ's traditions, his sayings, showing disrespect and a lack of gratitude to both of them. Surrender yourselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's commands, and that's how you learn more. Don't always get into quarrels. See, we have a big issue where we just like quarreling, and we keep on arguing over things, and that's it. But where are the solutions? We keep on presenting the problems as this problem. Where are the solutions? We argue over, for example, Ramadan moon sighting. How many years has it been? Yes, there's a difference of opinion in fiqh, but some people take to another extent. And they quarrel without understanding. Same thing with, you have so many different issues. The moon sighting is one of the biggest ones. We can't decide. Yes, there's a fiqh difference of opinion which you respect, but more times people who don't understand, who don't have a full picture of everything, they start to quarrel. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from these quarreling. Because what happens is another slanders another. May Allah Ta'ala protect us from that. And always pay heed to the verses of the Qur'an. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, who can be more wrong than the one who was admonished by his Lord's verses? Then he turns away from them, and he forgets what his hand has sent forward. We have certainly made coverings on their hearts, lest they understand it, and there is a deafness in their ears. And if you call them to the guidance, even then they will never be guided. Always pay heed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has got to say. When a person chooses to ignore Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala too is not interested in guiding such a person. But on the contrary, whoever loves Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens his heart to comprehend more and more. Today when one learns of a football match in the city, or perhaps a feast or something, we leave each other. Worldly tasks, we leave everything and run to be the first ones there in the queue. When there's, for example, Harry Potter book is coming out, well, when it used to come out, people used to queue at night. Or when a game's coming out for PlayStation, Call of Duty, we queue. But when it comes to the Qur'an, do we actually pay the same attentiveness to the Qur'an? Or do we just turn away from it? When you hear the adhan, do we actually hasten ourselves to salah when the mu'adhin is saying, Hayla salah, hayla salah, hey, come to prayer, come to prayer. Hayla falah, hayla falah, come to success, come to success. When we had the opportunity in this country, before the lockdown, did we actually use this and take advantage of it? No, we never. In this Ramadan, how does it feel? Being stuck at home, not being able to go to the masjid. Cease to take heed from the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We always look for solutions, so many different things, so many different avenues. But the true solutions are in the Qur'an. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us true understanding of all the things we've discussed today. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us true understanding with our family. How to conduct ourselves with our family, especially with our parents, our siblings, and also if we have children, for our children. And always try to keep a balanced lifestyle, one away from ego and pride. If you ever feel the urge where you think, oh, my pride's going high, you feel a bit haughty, then do things. I mean, some of the ulama mentioned that when a person feels all egocentric, you could say, he should go and pick up shoes, do things that he would normally do, clean up the toilets, clean the toilet, really humble yourself down and do everything in moderation as a Muslim. And keep your intentions right. And no fighting, no quarreling. If you want to discuss something, then discuss it in a civilized manner, rather than being at each other's throats. And always pay heed to what the verses of the Qur'an are telling us. What is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us? Because this Qur'an is with us. It's universal. It's something we really need to understand. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us true understanding.